Here we go. Lofi Poli Sci coming at you. Michael Pickering here talking our famous question. What's going on in the world today? And you know it's Wednesday summertime and it's surfing with Pickering. That's right, surfing the international news headlines together. Give it about 7 to 10 minutes or however long it takes. We're going to go through 4 different websites, see what's what with what in international news and, go from there. Today we're going to start off, let's check out. Normally, we've been ending with NPR. Today, we're going to start with some NPR and see what they're talking about. Let's see, in their world section, more leading experts warn of risk of extinction from AI. There's so much stuff about AI going on these days. There's even a lot of talk in academia about students using AI in order to write papers or blog posts and things like that. And students are getting busted too, and it's plagiarism. They even had a story out about a court case. I forget where in the U.S. it was, but the law firm, one of the attorneys doing the research, used ChatGPT to generate some data for a brief that they handed to a judge, and it turned out it created false court cases that didn't even exist. So craziness. AI. What else we have? North Korea launches rocket lightly connected to military satellite. All right. And yeah, North Korea did warn or give notice to Japan that they were going to launch a satellite soon. Iran's nuclear power program keeps going because, well, no one ever wants to talk about fixing the Iran nuclear deal. Let's see, destructive Nova Scotia wildfires out in Canada. Summertime's always the time of bad wildfires. It's horrible. Airline is weighing passenger before they board international flights. Wow. Air New Zealand is doing this. It's going to remain anonymous. They're not going to show your weight whenever you're getting ready to board, but they're going to weigh everyone. That's a little bit weird. How would you feel about, you're about to board a plane and there's a line of like 100 or so people and everyone jumping on a scale getting weighed. Interesting. Let's see. Other stuff going on. Serbia and Kosovo. Eyes open over there. There's a lot of conflict about to spur, or that is spurring on. So we're definitely keeping close eyes on that. People fleeing Sudan still. I heard about another ceasefire that was put on between the two rival militaries, the one of the government and the paramilitary, but fighting still keeps going on in Sudan, but hopefully they are getting closer to a ceasefire nowadays. Let's go ahead and switch over to Reuters, see what Reuters World News has. North Korea does a satellite, but it plunges into the sea after rocket failure. So they try so hard, but it just doesn't get there. More debt ceiling talks, because this is the third week in the row that Reuters has U.S. debt ceiling talk almost at the top. It was at the top the past 2 weeks. This time it's second story. But there is supposed to be a deal going on. It'll be signed this week. Let's see, China tech entrepreneurs. Always stuff going on between the U.S. and China and technology. Ukraine war comes to Moscow as drones strike both capitals. I did not hear about. I heard about more drone strikes in the Kiev capital, even during the day, but not at Moscow. Ukrainian drones struck wealthy. Oh no! I don't pay for Reuters, so of course I can't see the whole article, and it cuts me off. It's all right. I have a feeling someone else is going to talk about that, and I'll look at it in BBC or AP. Let's see what else. Deep faking it. American 2024 election collides with AI boom. Yeah, there was talk about it, and there was some during last presidential elections in 2020. Some deep fakes going on with different presidential candidates and things, but they were pretty bad. But now the technology is really going forward and in full speed. And if you don't know what a deep fake is, it's basically they can take you and they can make a video of you that looks extremely real, and most people won't be able to tell the difference. So people could use deep fake and make fake election ads. Yeah, you can see where that goes. All right, let's check out. Oh, private astronaut crew, including first Arab woman in orbit. Um, an all private astronaut team of 2 Americans and 2 Saudis, including the first Arab woman ever to be sent into orbit. Very cool, very cool. All right, now we go to BBC. North Korea's satellite is up again. First thing. More stuff about the debt ceiling. Why is the debt ceiling always in the world section? Black Bear walks into a bakery and eats 60 cupcakes. Why is that in the world section? That is not important at all. Put that in like the oddities section. Elizabeth Holmes begins an 11-year prison sentence. Finally, after so many stop, let's try again, stop, let's try again, appeal, appeal, appeal. Elizabeth Holmes is going to jail for 11 years for fraud. Interesting stuff. More talk about AI could leading to extinctions. Oh, here we go. Okay, the Russian president says drone attack on Moscow targets civilian as Ukraine denies direct involvement. So, yes, because President Zelensky of Ukraine has repeatedly said he has no intention of attacking anywhere inside of Russia. He's defending his home territory. So this would be contrary to that ethos, and it would he would lose some goodwill if he started attacking into Russia instead of just being defensive about this. But President Putin is claiming it's them and taking a hard stand. And I did read just yesterday, what was it? U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham had an arrest warrant issued for him by Russia. And the charges, Russia has not released what the charges are, but it came after a video was edited of him saying some negative things about Russia. Weird things going on in the world. What else? Ooh. Let's check out AP News now. First story on them is Russia says drones lightly damage Moscow buildings before dawn while Ukraine capital is bombarded. Staff at Ukraine's experimental nuclear site pick up pieces from Russian strike. That is so scary to hear about bombing and shelling and artilleries around nuclear sites. But they just keep doing it. More about Russia. The first 3 stories in AP are about Russia and Ukraine. And the fourth one, NATO to send 700 more troops to Kosovo to help quell violent protests. Beijing says no to a meeting with the U.S. Interesting. And there's going to be a meeting in Singapore, and Chinese defense chief says, no, we're not going to meet with the U.S. This is an interesting one, and this I actually feel like it deserves a deeper dive, but we don't have time today. But this is headline, teenagers from Islamic State families undergo rehabilitation in Syria, but future still uncertain. Now, there's so much to talk about into that discussion. People talk about ISIS, and they talk about, basically that time is done, that all the different countries in the regions took out ISIS, and now it's no more. But what people don't talk about is the tens of thousands of people who were ISIS-related or in ISIS that were put in camps, that were captured, and a lot of them are women and children, and they are still there years later. So what do you do with all of these people? And that's what this story is about. And so, like I said, I may have to do a deeper dive about this and look into that more. What else? What else do we have going on? More Russia stuff. More Russia stuff. More North Korea stuff. Oh, come on, people. Where's Latin America? We have to go to the Latin America section. Brazil president supports Venezuelan leader Mars unity at South American summit. That's right, there is a South American countries summit of the presidents and prime ministers, the leaders of South American countries, and Brazilian President Lula was nice to Venezuela's Maduro coming back, but not everyone was. Let's see what else. Ex-El Salvador president sentenced to 14 years for negotiating with gangs. An ex-president. Wow. 14 years. It's not often you hear about presidents getting that long a time. Well, that's about it. That's time is up, people. There's so much going on, so much more to it than that. But that's all we can do for today. But check us out tomorrow. We have our blog going up on the website, lofipolisci.com. And we also have that little crazy, now it's time for something else kind of Thursday show going up. And always remember that Lofi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's a we that we be. Talk to you tomorrow, Lo-Fi listeners. Pickering, signing off.